Yo, what up everybody? Welcome to the SATS Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Today we're going to talk about how to save for a house. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that after the SAT Strength segment. What is a SAT Strength? Let's talk about it. A SAT is a Satoshi. A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. How many Satoshis do you need to make a Bitcoin? 100 million Satoshis. How many fractions of a dollar do you need to make a dollar? 100 pennies. So a penny is to the dollar as a Satoshi is to Bitcoin. Okay? Today, the price of Bitcoin is $31,253,000 for a single Bitcoin. And you might be thinking to yourself, man, I'm here to learn how to save money for a house, not how to buy, not to hear about Bitcoin. But bear with me. There's a point to this. There's a method to this madness. If you spend a single dollar on Bitcoin, if you invest the value of a dollar in Bitcoin, you can get 3,200 Satoshis. Over time, the value of the Bitcoin, the value of each Satoshi is going up relative to the dollar. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin today. You can spend as much as you feel comfortable with to buy fractions of a Bitcoin until eventually you can work yourself up to maybe a whole Bitcoin. Maybe not. Maybe you never get a whole Bitcoin, but guess what? The value that you put in Bitcoin, the Satoshis that you're holding, are the ultimate in scarcity. Okay? They're the ultimate in scarce assets. So those Satoshis that you own, those Satoshis that you control, will continue to go up in value. And I guess down the road you could sell them for more money if you want to. But by then, I hope you'll realize that holding the Bitcoin is the best way to accumulate wealth over the long term through generations, tax-free and all that good stuff. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that during the Why We Stack segment, and we'll go a little bit into how exactly you can save for a house or a down payment on a house or whatever you're looking to buy. Okay. Anyway, so let's just say you're walking down the street, minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you could have had 32 Satoshis. So for a single penny, you could buy 32 Satoshis. See, that's how affordable it is. That's how affordable Bitcoin is. Remember, a Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. It is in fact Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin. It's just not a whole Bitcoin. It's a fraction of a Bitcoin. Like you can have pennies, and it's not a dollar, but it's still US dollar currency, right? So that's exactly what a Satoshi is. All right. That said, let's get into the Why We Stack. Okay, here we're gonna talk about how to save for a house. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you I'm not only gonna tell you why this is the way to do it, but I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Okay, so the way that the money works, the things you want cost a percentage of the overall money supply. Okay, so your labor, whatever you agree to work for, is a percentage of the money supply that's going to make you afford the different things that you want in your life that are also a percentage of the overall money supply. Okay? So, what is it I'm talking about? So, let's just say, for example, to keep it real short and real simple, that a taco is worth, in order to buy a taco, you have to spend half of the world's supply of currency. And let's just call this currency dollar, okay? And let's just say there's only $100 in existence, okay? So if we want to buy a taco, we have to spend 50% of the currency in existence. So we spend $50 on a taco, right? That's how it works, okay? Now let's say that the people that are in control of how much currency exists want to have more value, want to have more spending power, or more dollars to spend, or take the wealth from your hands. Because remember, you have $50 and they have $50. You have half of the world's supply of money, and a taco still costs 50% of the wealth in existence. What up, local guidesman in the house? So you take, so they decide to increase the supply of money. They give themselves an extra $100, and in so doing, they double the supply of money. But they don't double the supply that you're holding. They only double it and give themselves that supply. So now instead of there being $100 in existence, there's actually $200 in existence, and you are only holding 25% of that now instead of the 50% you were holding before. Okay, so now the taco still costs 50% of the available money. Okay, so now even though you had half the world's money supply before, now you have a quarter of the world's money supply, and the taco still costs half the money supply. So you're not able to afford even the taco. Okay, that's how it works. That's how inflation works. That's how they give you. Sometimes they'll give you money. Sometimes the government will give you tax relief. Not tax relief. Yeah, tax relief too. Sometimes they'll give you like a stimulus check, right? But let's go back to that same scenario. If the government gives you a stimmy check for $100, but for every $100 stimmy check they give to somebody, they give themselves $200 in stimulus, or spend $500 in stimulus for every $100 they give out, right? Then you might feel like you're getting more money, but the percentage of the money supply that you hope that you're controlling has actually diminished, and they've diluted your purchasing power. They've diluted the purchasing power not only of the money they gave you, but the money you've been holding in savings. Okay, so you'll never be able to save up for a house, even if you're working 2 jobs and you're working your rear off, right? It's not that you're not working hard enough. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's that the money is broken. Okay, so let's get back to the original point, the original thought here in the stream, which is what? How to save for a house. Okay. Well, first you got to save in something that isn't stealing from you, right? And that's what we talked about last week, about not saving in apples, not saving in oranges, not saving in bananas, not saving in perishable things, right? The dollar, unfortunately, is perishable, right? It's perishable because they continue to increase the supply. See, as the supply of dollars goes up, because the debt keeps going up, more dollars have to come into existence, and whenever that happens, the value of your dollars, it's debased. The value of your dollars, the purchasing power of your dollars, is getting leached away from you as the debt goes up. Okay, so when you try to save for a house in cash, like in savings account, the system is always going to be working against you, right? So you'll never be able to save up. Or you will be able to save up eventually, but it's very unlikely that you'll be able to save up quick enough to save enough of a down payment for the home that you want, because the price of that home is going to also increase based on the devaluing dollar, right? Because as the dollar devalues and you need more weaker dollars to buy the same assets, those assets go up in price, right? So the house that you want to buy is going to go up in price. Say you want to save for 5 years, right? For a house that's $1 million, and you need to save up $200,000, and it's going to take you 2 or 3 years. By the time you get to the 2 or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years that it take you to save up that down payment, the money that you've been saving has been getting debased the whole time, and the value of that home has been getting pumped because the dollar is weaker from now to 5 years, and so your down payment you thought you would be able to save up in a couple of years or 5 years or whatever is actually not enough to even get to be halfway to your down payment of the same house you've been trying to get, right? So what can you do? I'm not just here for doom and gloom, right? What can you do? You can gamble, I guess, right? You can go put it all in red or put it all in black, but that's not a good option, right? That's I'm joking. What you could do is to invest in Bitcoin, right? And as the value as the value you set aside outside of the dollar system goes into Bitcoin, then the system starts to work for you instead of against you. Okay. And now, since your money is being held in an asset that will appreciate as a dollar debases, right? Then you'll have the system working for you and pushing you towards your goal instead of keeping you away from it, right? When you save in dollars, the purchasing power gets devalued, and so your goals are constantly being pushed away from you by this number here, by the amount of money that's being created, right? Both by the banks and by the government. So what can you do? Well, we stack. You save in Satoshis. You save as much as you can in Bitcoin for whatever it is you're going to save for long term, right? If it's truly a long-term goal and you're going to save for a house in 5 years or 10 years, whatever, right? or that or a thing you're trying to get, then do it in Bitcoin. Because if you look at this number, what is the riskier asset, right? A limited supply of Bitcoin that can't be inflated, that's inflation resistant, or a money that's constantly being expanded and constantly being inflated and has no hope of ever paying back the debt, right? It's doomed to collapse, right? What's happening in Argentina right now is going to happen in the United States eventually. It might take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, who knows? But I doubt it'll make it 50 or 100 years. There's going to be a new form of money, right? And the whole time, the value of your Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. Okay? So, with that, what you could do is do like we do on the show, and that is we stack some sats. We save in Bitcoin, and this is the stat recap. Stack recap! All right, let's talk about how we're actually saving here, okay? I made this account for the show, and slow and steady, right? Dollar cost average. We don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. We just keep buying as much Satoshis as we can. For the show, we've committed to spending or to investing $10 each day, Monday through Friday, 12:15 Pacific Standard Time, 3:15 Eastern. Come hang out, learn about Bitcoin. Our show stack of 5.472 million Satoshis. In other words, 0.0547292 Bitcoin. We paid $1,522 for it, and it's currently worth $1,703 for it. Okay. What up, Lil Lade? Nice to see you in here. So, if we were saving for something, we're saving in Bitcoin as the economy inflates and the dollar loses purchasing power, you need more weaker dollars to buy the same amount of Satoshis. Okay. Take that and extrapolate it over the next 10 years. And you could say that the money you're saving, the money you're putting in Bitcoin right now, will be like 40 times the value of the money that you don't. Actually, even worse, take the money that you're making now and the savings that you have now in dollars and divide it by 40, and that's how bad it's gonna be. Okay, so get on that long-term plan, that long-term Bitcoin plan. Buy, don't sell. Just buy, because you never know when it's going to pump into infinity, and you won't be able to buy at these prices ever again. Okay, so that's our show stack. Let's do what we came to do today, which is stack some sats, because we don't only talk about Satoshis, we actually stack them too. During the stack sats segment, let's go. All right, here we go. Slow and steady wins the race. Man, it's awesome. It's I know I'm not supposed to be impressed by this gain, but it's pretty impressive, right? What's giving you 11.93% right now, right? What's giving you 11.93% since May, right? Check your stock portfolios, check your gold holdings, check your silver holdings. Nothing is giving you that percentage right now, right? If we were to have bought something else during the show, I don't think anything would have given us that gain since May. Okay, so it's right there in front of us. That's the whole point of the show, right? To see what's actually happening. All right, let's jump into the buying of the sats. Here we go. Today, since the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price, we're gonna buy $10 worth of Bitcoin over at swan.com, swanbitcoin.com. Oops. Whoa. All right, here we go. We're gonna buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna preview my buy. I'm gonna copy this. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Hide my account information so you guys can't dox me. There it is. All right. And just like that, cut the music. And drum roll, please. We're buying $10 worth of Bitcoin. It's gonna cost us 10 cents to do so. And here we go. We're stacking every day, every Monday through Friday, buying Bitcoin and holding it forever. Forever. Okay? I'm gonna hand this off to my kids, and they're gonna hand it off to their kids. And we stacked. Oh wait, is it? I was thinking about it. It says purchase is being executed. Oof. Well, let's just assume it worked. Get back on here. Oh man, I hope it doesn't freeze. Okay, I'm gonna update my show notes real quick. Let's see if it went through. Oh, it's probably gonna stall out. It's still thinking about it. I might have done the transfer, but didn't do the actual purchase. So we'll let it sit there for a second, and then we'll come back to it. But once we stack, then we chill and answer your questions. So, hit me with any questions. Hit me with any questions you might have. I know it's probably a busy Monday for you guys. Coming back to work. I was able to schedule my lunch and get this show done. Just to come on here and be an example to say, you know what? It doesn't take that long to make a little stack, you know? Commit to your dollar cost averaging schedule. You can do daily, you can do weekly, you can do monthly. Commit to a certain amount of money that you're going to set aside, a certain amount of value that you're going to save in Bitcoin. Money that you don't expect to touch for 5 to 10 years. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds like it's a long time, but 5 or 10 years, time flies, okay? Time flies, and if you can get that habit going of saving in Bitcoin, you'll be better off for it, and that value will appear to be increasing based on the inflation that's happening to the dollar. And you know what? If the whole world is on the inflationary dollar, and you're preserving your wealth in Bitcoin, then it's gonna naturally pump your bag relative to the dollar. Okay, it's pretty wild. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let's jump into the spreadsheet real quick and update it with the buy information and see what's gonna happen to the numbers. Are we gonna get to 5.5 million satoshis? Let's see. Here we go. Today is 10/23/23, and the purchasing price is 31,000. Man, we're in the 30s. It's crazy. 31,259 was our purchase price. We bought $10.10. 0.123 30. Yeah, 31,991. Man, look at that. Just in the span, the Satoshi count going down. Look at that. We're almost only at, if it goes up any higher, then say goodbye to our $10 30,000 Satoshi stacks. I mean, look at that. The stack is going. We're getting less and less SATS per dollar, right? Which means the Satoshi is getting more expensive, right? Which means the dollar is losing purchasing power against the Satoshi, right? So the more Bitcoin you save, the more Bitcoin you stack, the easier things will get. Because if you price things in Bitcoin, the prices of everything are going down, right? The prices of everything is going down. Is or are? Anyway, that's what we got. We are at 5.5 million satoshis. Ooh, that was loud. Sorry about that. 5.5 million satoshis, and just like that, just like I'm saving sats here, it could be for anything. My goal could be to get to a certain number here, right? Let's say I'm saving for like a car or something, right? And I don't want to do it at 12%. It's wild. It's wild, right? But just because we're up, don't hesitate. Do your dollar cost average. Doesn't matter where you're at. You're probably thinking, man, if I wait a little bit longer, I could maybe catch it on a retrace and get it at 30,000 instead of 31,000. Or I'm gonna wait till it goes back to 25,000, right? And I'm not gonna DCA this week. I'm gonna wait for it to go back down to 25 or something, or 27. And then so you don't DCA, right? And then you're like, well, it's still at 30, it's still like around 28, 30,000. I'm gonna keep waiting until it gets to 25,000 or 27,000, where it was like a couple weeks ago. And I'm just gonna hold off on my DCA. I'm not gonna buy again this week, or I'm not gonna buy again next week. And next thing you know, it never hits 25,000 again, right? It never does, and it just keeps going. And now it's at 35,000, and you're like, damn, I should have bought when it was at 31,000, right? I should have just kept doing my DCA, right? Well, that's the whole point of DCA, guys. That's the whole point of dollar cost averaging, is you don't have to worry about the price. You don't have to worry about getting more sats for your dollar, because you know eventually it's going to go up, and you just got to keep buying, okay? Because you don't know when it's going to go up, and you know when it's going to go down. And if you start thinking about that, that's how the market maker manipulates you, right? He's going to pump it up like it's pumping up right now, and maybe this is it. Maybe it doesn't come back down, but maybe it's pumped up so that you get crazy and put in a whole bunch of money, and maybe you're not as diamond hands as maybe I am, and you get scared, right? And you go on, okay, say right now it's at 31,663, right? 31,163. And so you're like, you know what? It's going up forever. Let's do it. I'm just going to buy a whole Bitcoin at like 31,000, right? And then you spend the 30 grand to get the Bitcoin. And then next week or later this week, something might happen that doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin anyway, and it drops the price to like 25,000. Now you're like, oh my God, I'm down $5,000 or $6,000. I better sell it before it goes down to zero and I lose more money, right? And then you're down. Now you're really down the 6,000, right? So that sucks, right? And but when you commit that much money, especially if it's a huge amount for you, then you're susceptible to manipulation, to psychological manipulation, which is the price going up and down, right? So what you do is you take out the feeling of fear or greed, and you just say, you know what? This is my schedule. I'm buying X amount every set time period. I'm buying $10 a day, like we are here on the show. I'm buying $100 a week. I'm buying $500 a month, right? On this date, or at this time, or on this day of the week, I'm buying it. I'm not even gonna look at the price, right? And I'm just gonna hold it, because this is money that I don't need in the next 4 to 5 years, right? 5 to 10 years, right? And slowly over time, as the price goes up, your position gets better and better, because the money that you started with is going to be worth more and more. The initial, like if you started investing with me here today, not today, but back in May, you're up almost 12%, right? Like it. I'm not a financial advisor, any of that stuff. I'm just showing you what I've been doing on the show, right? Very transparent, right? And the only thing that can change right now that would affect the trajectory of where things are going is if the government all of a sudden decided to stop printing money, and to tell the banks to stop creating credit, right? And it's not going to happen, right? Look at, we're way past 33 trillion, on our way to $34 trillion. I don't know if you guys understand how much a trillion is. It's just insane amount of money. It's insane. Okay, so I know I've been kind of rambling for a while. I'm just passionate about it, guys. Damn, I see the potential. I want to go. I've been selling all my stuff. I've been selling everything I don't need. I cleaned out my whole garage. I'm almost done remodeling not remodeling, but like just sorting out my stuff in my garage. I've been selling a bunch of stuff. So more sats. And then once I'm done selling all my stuff in my garage, I need to figure out what to do next to create wealth for people so I can trade it for dollars, and then I can trade those dollars for Bitcoin. I don't know. I might just, create something else. I don't know. Just make some more things so that I can raise more capital to buy as much Bitcoin as I can before it takes off. Okay. The goal should be to get to 1 Bitcoin, right? Once you get to 1 Bitcoin, you can use that as collateral for a down payment on the house. If you're still here wondering how to save for a house, save for a house in Bitcoin, save for your boat in Bitcoin, save for your kids' financial future in Bitcoin, right? Understand how it works, learn how to self-custody Bitcoin, and then you'll be set. Okay, you'll be set. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we stack SATS. And, saving in dollars is bad for your wealth. Oh, yeah. I already spoiled it. Smoking is bad for your health, and saving in dollar is bad for your wealth.